DBSCG things.
What's up, Yuhp gang? It's your boy Taxon, and welcome back to Yuhp DBSCG Things, and today we're going over another very exciting deck profile, guys. This is going to be the deck that took second place at our last store championship. This is going to be Dr. Hedo. But before we get into it, guys, I do want to say if you guys own any custom mats and or sleeves, absolutely check out Promats, guys. This is the best place to go get your custom card needs, and if you guys do decide to get a mat from them, make sure you use the promo code YUHP to save on your entire order. With that being said, if you guys enjoyed this battle or my content in general, remember to hit all those buttons for me, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell so you never miss a video. And with that being said, let's turn it around and check it out.
Alrighty, you guys, and here we are with the deck taking third place with his Dr. Hedo going 2-1. Absolutely nuts. I wanted to get the profile a couple weeks ago because he's been playing it and absolutely smashing up the locals. So go ahead and tell us about your matchups today and, of course, your deck.
Well, for matchups, it was first round was against the Dark King Mecha Gabora. That one was a case of Hedo doing Hedo things, me seeing 4 super combos in my secret rare and absolutely pummeling. Match 2, that one I believe was recorded. Hedo did Hedo things. I saw all 4 of my super combos in my secret rare and proceeded to do fisticuffs. Match 3, which you will also see, is Hedo did Hedo things, but unfortunately I didn't see all 4 of my super combos, so I'm gonna blame that as to why I lost. It was against the Gogeta. The profile's already up, so he didn't change the deck. Yeah, that was a very close match. Anyway, as for the deck and why I played it, I've built 2 decks out of the new set, and this is one of them. I really like my punchy decks. This deck does a lot of punching. I will now tell you how it does punching. So the Dr. Hedo, on front side, he swings, search top 5 for red ribbon army card added to your hand, and then you awaken when you have both the gammas out or you're at 4 or less life. On the flip side, his permanent, all your 2 or less gammas have barrier, which is pretty huge and was actually very important in that last match, and my opponent didn't have Kefla. So that's nice. And then when a Gamma 2 swings, you get to discard a card, draw 2 cards. Well, specifically discard a red ribbon army card, draw 2 cards. And then he has an activate main to switch a Gamma 1 into active mode, and that is extremely dumb because you'll see in some of these other cards. As for the deck itself, 4 copies, running 4 copies of Dr. Hedo, Heroic Brain ? He's a top 5 searcher, and his permanent literally does not matter because it's a meme. You shut your mouth over there. I also run 4 of this Dr. Hedo, so he is pretty important to see if you get cucked in your starting hand, because he has a auto when he's comboed. You get to play a gamma from your deck that is less than or equal to your current energy cost. So if you don't see your gammas, then he is very good for getting the one you need, mainly for awakening. So
It's like 4 extra copies of whatever gamma you need in the moment.
Yep. Run 4 copies of this Gamma 1, the 2-drop Gamma 1. This card you need to see. If you do not see it in your starting hand, full mulligan. And if you don't see it at that point, you better hope that you search it, because this is your play start.
You do get two searches normally on your turn 1, correct?
Usually, yeah. If you're going,
if you're on the attack, right?
Yeah, because you'll get the lead search and the one. You can play the 1-drop and possibly search. So you have good opportunities to get it. But this card is extremely important. You want to see it. So he has deflect and auto when he's switched to active mode. He gets minus 5k, but you give one of your opponent's cards minus 5k. And then on swing, he will combo with a red ribbon army from drop, which is pretty good. The way you play him, I'll just show this now. The Z-Deck card, Dr. Hedo's Laboratory. This card will let you free play a Gamma 1. So this is why it's extremely important to have this out by turn 2. So it'll play your Gamma 1s in rest mode, and it will let you start doing your plays. I'll go more into that in a bit. So I run 4 of that Gamma 1, and then 4 of the 3-drop Gamma 1. He's very similar to the other one. His limit 1 of when he restands from the lead skill, you will draw a card this time, and then he gets minus 10, you give something else minus 10, and he has the same on swing, he combos a card. So he is very good. He's legit just an upgraded version of that. So you'll want him starting from turn 3 and onwards.
And it's a free play target off the Hedo's Lab as long as you're on 3.
Yes. Yeah, Hedo's Lab will play whenever you have... It'll play a Gamma 1 with energy cost less than or equal to your energy. So Very important.
Yeah, all the Gamma 1s being free play in this deck is crazy.
Yes. This Gamma 2, 2-drop Gamma 2, permanent. When you have a Gamma 1 out, he reduces his specified cost by 1 red, so he'll be a 1-drop. And his auto and what all the Gamma 2s in the deck have is when a Gamma 1 restands, he will restand as well once limit 1. So this deck is very much punch face. It will keep punching face repeatedly. So he's going to keep restanding every turn, and you're just going to get a lot of swings off. So 4 of him, he's almost as important as the other Gamma 1. You want to see him early to let you awaken. So you need him or either that one Dr. Hedo. And then I run 3 copies of the 5-drop Gamma 2. Gamma 2 Suicide Attack Departure, funniest name in the world. He has critical, auto once per turn. When Gamma 1 SH is switched, he'll switch to active mode, but then he also gains another effect where after the battle, in which he attacks the second time, he will get rid of himself, and your opponent has 3 or more life, then you deal a damage to them. So he will burn, and then he'll come out for 2 energy when you have a Gamma 1. So he's pretty good. I only run 3 of it though because I feel like
he doesn't deal damage.
Just in general, after the battle, he will get rid of himself
if
and
your
deal
opponent
damage.
doesn't combo out of that critical damage, they're taking 1 anyways. And then if they do,
In general, after the battle, it happens. They can't stop it unless petrification, but we don't talk about that card.
Right, 2 energy for a potential 3 damage is crazy.
Extremely, especially with 2 of them being crit.
Yeah, and he's at 25k, and of course there's plenty of ways in this deck to beef up cards like that. So
Oh yeah, this card can be good. I think he's a little situational though, and since this deck is very aggro, spending the 2 energy can be a little wonky, but he is a very nice option if your opponent is being a defensive little bitch.
Right.
So this card is one of the best cards in the deck.
Talking about the card that can beef up cards.
Yeah, Gamma 1 and 2. So they come out for 1 if you or I believe it's you or your opponent have 3 energy. If your card is red and you or your opponent has 3 more energy, so you draw a card and give one of your cards plus 10,000 for the battle. His auto is when he comes in, he gives something plus 5k for the turn. So he is a Senzu Bean on your opponent's turn, possibly if you end up playing him then. And then he will also restand whenever a Gamma 1 restands. So he's another attacker, and the fact that he's a Senzu, effectively, is extremely stupid. So he's very important. And in general red decks, this is a good card to run. I run 4 copies of Homie Magenta here. This is a double strike Champa, effectively, for your Gammas. And when you play him, you draw a card. So yeah, you combo, pay an energy, give a Red Ribbon Army double strike. You can do it your leader as well, which is hilarious. That's how I won my second game, is I just beefed up my leader, made him double strike, bitch slap.
Wow.
Yeah.
So essentially, you can it doesn't restrict where the card's comboed from. So as long as you're comboing that from somewhere and it's not being comboed skill negated, you can get that effect.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything in the deck that lets you combo it from elsewhere without negating the skills.
Right, but essentially, if like let's say you played it earlier for a draw, if it's
Yeah, you
there
can
for some
combo it
reason,
battle area.
you can combo it out of the battle area and boom.
Yeah, I'll do that sometimes.
That's pretty
Sometimes
sweet.
that's my turn 1 play. I'll play him, and then I can either keep him
Double
on
strike
board.
on the leader the very next turn.
Yeah, it's just, may as well. So he is extremely good and very important.
Sweet. That's actually really good. And I believe he isn't he a pitch target for something we'll talk about later on?
Yes, you need him to play a card later on. That's in the Z deck.
I knew it had something to do with like one of the Cellmax cards.
Yep. Speaking of Cellmax, here's the 8-drop Cellmax. I am a little lukewarm on this guy, but he's not bad. He's a blocker, and when he attacks or activates blocker, he switches to active mode, minuses himself 15. And you can play him if your leader is red and your opponent has 3 more energy for 1 energy. And when he's KO'd or removed from battle area by a skill, choose one of your opponent's battle cards and minus it 30. So he's basically a possible dual attack swing or a double block that can minus something 30. Good card. It is not a bad card by any means, but I just find in general throughout the games, I'm rather playing more Gammas because punchy. So that's my only kind of issue with him.
Right. 1 energy for a 25k blocker and or just an attack and then a block, compared to like most of your 1 energy plays that are all like 20k dual attacks or 20k double strike.
Yeah, so it's just kind of like compared to the two, I would rather play more Gammas, but he is a very good card. I cannot take that away from him. Best card in the deck, don't at me, is Hachimaru. I'm not kidding. It is amazing. And seriousness, though, this card is actually really good because he has a thing where activate main limit 1, you rest him, and you minus something 5k. And if it's a magenta, I think it minuses it 10k for some reason because funny. He's actually not too bad of a card because if your opponent's playing free negates and you have him out, it's like, okay, free negate, okay, cool, Hachimaru, die. You got killed by a bug, get wrecked.
Right. And if for some reason you ever play an iteration of this deck where you're free playing like 1 drops off like maybe Gogeta Unison, that's just free. So
Yep.
pretty cool.
Yeah, so he's a cool card. I would probably cut him down to 2 or something because spoiler, I do not run not Unison, a Overwhelm in the deck. You should run an Overwhelm in the deck.
Gotcha.
You probably should not run 4 Hachimaru.
Probably
but
go down to 3 of that and use that extra slot for one of your units or overwhelms.
for sure, at least go down to 3. But yeah, he's also a Red Ribbon Army though, so he's good for your lead skill where you swing and discard a Red Ribbon. That's usually what I use him for, but you have options with him, which is very nice.
Absolutely.
Next up, we got 4 of the Raditz super combo. Needs no introductions. It's the best super combo for the deck because in general, the game is going so fast. You're gonna be at 4 life very quickly. So it's the best super combo for the deck. My secret rare of choice is the Radiant Saiyans.
Another super combo.
Yes, effectively another super combo that can come in and be a double strike crit on turn 2. Which, if you ever do that, your opponent's probably gonna be needing to go see their asshole doctor. Because they do not offer consent. So yeah, and if you don't use it for that, when you do the pay 2, you can also just get rid of 4 battle cards. So it's just a really good card.
Board wipe when you're in danger and threaten double strike crit when you're not in danger.
Yeah, this is just a secret rare I like. You can run Pan, you can run whatever else. This one's funny to me. Plus, it's another super combo. It's basically like you're running the Gohan Piccolo, except you can still have 4 super combos. So I like it. It's a nice card. 2 Beerus Ball. You need to run Beerus Ball because if you run into Flood Negates, you will cry. I learned that lesson because of Junie. Thanks, Junie. He's not here to defend himself right now. But
Attack him while he's not here.
But yeah, when you're at 4 less life, pay the energy, minus anything that comes in that's 15k or less will die, and then you give something, I think you give your leader 5k for the turn.
Yeah, that's
which,
huge.
Yeah, that is an underrated aspect of it.
Getting a buff off that when you're counterplaying most likely a Floodgate that's just crazy. Because
Yeah, on top of the gammas. If you use the gamma 1 and 2, 5 drop, then you have a possible 25k attacker because you use both of these. So it's very dumb. But yes, you need some Beerus balls in your life. Get them Beerus's balls. I got 2 after image technique for my free negates effectively because you want to get down in life fast, and this is a good way to do it while also maintaining some level of defense because this is an aggro deck. This is a punchy deck. You are going to do punchy things. You cannot run too many negates. So I think 2 of that's fine, and then I have 3 testing the opposition.
I heard you did some cheeky stuff with this in your Trunks matchup.
Yes, I did. I was at 6 life, and he was trying to attack my battle cards more, so I did an after image to get down to 5, and then I was able to testing so I could get down to 4. That made all my super combos live, and like I said earlier, I found all 4 of them, so that was pretty helpful. So yeah, token negate and after image. I think this is an all right ratio. I don't think I'd change anything about it, honestly.
All right, and you don't have any floodgates, so you probably wouldn't add anything
Nope.
like Topo or anything like that?
No, definitely not Topo. Red does not have a good cheap flood negate right now, in my opinion, so I don't think it's worth it, and especially in a deck this aggro.
Gotcha.
Now, we'll go into the Z deck, which I already showed off 1 card earlier, which is the Dr. Hedo's Lab. You really only need 1 of this. I just have 2 because most of this deck is pretty much out of set, so I haven't added too much to it. But I'm running 2 of the Hedo's Lab, and then the card that goes underneath it when you play it, which is Cell Max. So yeah, again, Hedo's Lab, it will free play your Gamma 1s, which will get you started in the punchy shenanigans. And then as an active main, pay 1, you get rid of a magenta from your hand. So there's that dual purpose with Pink Boy here. So you can then play the Cell Max underneath it. The Cell Max is pretty neat. It almost got me the game in the final round. It's a little sad I didn't, because I think it was the first time I ever played the card. But he is a barrier blocker, and when he attacks, minus something 15, and if you kill something with that, then he restamps. So, yeah, he's kind of nutty.
Wow, that's a good way to punish people for using token negates.
Oh, extremely. It is very brutal. I used it to kill the hit, He had the hit Z battle card out, so I got a free dual attack swing on it effectively, which was very nice. But again, this is a case where this is a out of set deck for the most part. You really only need 1-on-1. Make these the Rush Vegetas or something, or the Black Vegeta, the 1-drop Black Vegeta. That is yes. I would definitely I would say run those over these.
Would you run 2 or just 1?
One Vegeta. One 1-drop Vegeta and one of the 2 Rush Vegetas. The red SR that I can't remember.
The combo from drop.
Yeah.
Rush attack.
I'm sure Taxon will put a picture of it on screen. I'm saying that so that way he has to do it in editing later. I'm fast as fuck, boy. Leave me alone. And then finally, the actual best card in the deck that's not Hachimaru is this Gamma 1 and 2 Z battle card. This card is absolutely dumb. When you have both of them out, it's a 1 cost, 1 and 1 Z energy. Permanent, when you have 3 or more energy, all your gammas gain 5k, so everyone effectively has a bean, which is hilarious. Has the same auto when he'll restand when a gamma 1 is restood, and this one gains double strike when they do it because it is absolutely nutty. And then it has another one, I think. No, that's it. It has unique, so you can't play multiple of them, which is probably for the benefit of everything else.
Yeah, but essentially a 1-drop 20k dual tag double strike is absurd.
Yeah. And then that's the big thing with this deck is a lot of the stuff has secret dual attack in the name. So you're just that's
every
why
single one of the gamma cards are dual attacks. Essentially,
this is a peak beat 'em up deck, and that's why I kind of gravitated towards it between this and the Beast Gohan deck. It's just pure punchy, and I love it.
Alrighty, so that was your deck and your Z decks. We already talked about your matchups. Do you have any final shout-outs?
Shout out to Gogeta for kicking my ass and making me sad. Shout out to you guys for hosting me and letting me be stupid on camera because the world needs to see that.
We all like to smile to you being hilarious.
Yeah. Shout out to Attack on Titan for keeping me out of depression. And yeah, that's about it.
Alrighty, so with that being said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile. If you did, remember smash all those like buttons for us. With that being said, we will see you guys next time.